All right, these teams are both ready to go, Zath. I think we're going to be on our way momentarily. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and run this video, guys. We'll be going to Game 2 right now.
Off the North African coast, an arid expanse of the Mediterranean Sea plays host to opposing forces as they battle it out for control of the seas. Amongst these sun-blasted islands, where enemy fire isn't the only bad way to die, only one team will triumph. This is Tears of the Desert. Tears of the Desert is a 42 by 42 kilometer domination-style map with 3 cap points running in a line from northwest to southeast. The A cap is in the top left, B is in the center, and C is in the bottom right. Capture Area A has enough island cover nearby for teams to sneak in a radar cruiser and cover the capture zone, though it's common to see ships attempting to flank the cap by sailing into the northwestern corner of the map. In the center, Cap B has superb island cover near the center that allows destroyers to contest the area from behind shelter. Landing shells on ships in this position is challenging until teams are able to push forces into the corners of the map. Cap C is similar to Cap A. There is cover nearby for cruisers who want to defend, but very little cover within the cap itself. The picket line of islands that separate B and C make pushing in force from one cap to the other very challenging. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Tears of the Desert.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Game 3 here of Day 1 King of the Sea. We're in the Swiss stage, looking at the Mahan division now. Both teams coming into this game undefeated. That is RNG and RKN.
Absolutely. And I'm excited here. We got a Shimakaze.
That's right. Both teams seemingly take a very similar approach to their team composition. We've got Ohio, Kremlin, Salem, Venezia, Moskva, Stalingrad, Smolensk. A very, very broad selection of cruisers here. Lots of tools in that toolbox for RNG to go, for RKN to go with Daring and Shimakaze on the destroyer side.
Yeah. And then, of course, looking on the other side, RNG going for the tried and true Yamato and Kremlin, Tommy Boy and the Des Moines, and then double Venezia and double Stalingrad. That kind of locks them in a little bit, but also adds some flexibility in that they can kind of do the same thing on both sides. And then a Summers and a Daring. So, like you said, both teams opting for more of a flexible strategy coming into play.
Very much so. It's a lot of firepower there. Double Stalingrad, double Venezia.
And how about the cojones?
Look at this.
Tommy
Yeah,
Boy,
look at Tommy Boy's
right
Des Moines. Look at the balls on this guy. Giving up half his HP, more than half his HP, already trying to get in behind this island. We've seen teams.
Spicy radar.
There was a strat long ago. Teams used to push Minotaurs into this position. We saw some folks do this back in like King of the Sea 8, but that was back when you had an AA cruiser in here, right? And it just was like impossible to strike it off the board. But those days are long behind us. This Des Moines, Tommy Boy's Des Moines, giving up a ton of HP. Just to get into this position to be able to spot Kisu's Moskva.
And what we need to see happen now from RNG's side is they need to get on the flanks and punish Kisu, who's kind of in the same position now going into BCAP.
Well, they're going to be able to do this. Both of these ships are going to proxy spot each other for days at this point, Zath.
Yep.
And honestly, if I'm RKN, I love Kisu's position way better than I like Tommy's position. Tommy Boy can
Tommy's already getting sieged.
Yeah, the Smolensk can just drop shells on him from wherever, but RNG cannot do that to Kisu from his position. He has better cover. While the drama's been unfolding at B, RKN has run out and grabbed C and A very quickly. They've pushed their Shimakaze, that's Mad Dog, very deep into C. He's way on the RNG side of the cap already.
Well, he's in Ashima. He can afford to do that, right?
That's fair enough. Well, they haven't spotted either of the RNG destroyers yet, so they don't quite know where they are. I'm gonna have a peek here because I want to know where they are. All right, so there we go. We've got one in over here by the Stalingrad, down here headed towards C, and the other, the Summers. Who is that? That's Nui Summers, way up on the top end of A. He's about to meet a Daring.
Something happened to Locked. He must have taken a big hit there, just sitting in smoke.
Yep.
From downtown, probably Darksteel.
Yes, RKN Smolensk just getting hammered. Probably either the Kremlin or the Stalin.
I'm quite impressed that Tommy is still alive and kicking.
Well,
and
they've dislodged the Smolensk for the moment, right? The Smolensk was the only thing that could spot him, and the other trick is that right now they don't have eyes on this Smolensk. It's really up to this Daring. Let's ride along with RNG's Daring, because once he gets eyes on the Smolensk, that Smolensk is going to be in a world of pain. But the Shima outspots him, so there's going to be a lot of spotting games they have to play correctly at sea for this to work.
Real Senpai is broadside to the other Kremlin. Didn't get punished for it. Teams are relatively even on health, but then very tasty Bat Soup just took a big hit. And the Venezia over at C, or A.
Big Papa's Daring smoking on the bottom end of C. I don't like this play, Zath. Unless he's smoking to bait the Shimakaze Torps, which makes sense. If that's what he's doing, it makes sense. But he definitely doesn't want to sit in there.
Well, the interesting thing is that those Torps are already on the way, right for where he was. So,
yeah, here they come. He's just spotted them now.
Heavily.
He is in a world of pain. He's going to eat at least one of these. He can't help it now. Yep.
Tighten up that butt. And those were Torps that were meant for wandering bread.
Exactly. Probably meant for the Kremlin. Yep. Looks like the Kremlin's only going to take one right on the bow. Might not even take that. Oh, look at that. Dodge. Just like RNG planned it. Papa's health back up to about half as the stalemate at C and B continues. The only team ticking up points right now is RKN, as Kisyu does take a torp. Yep, takes a torp there in the B cap from the Summers way up north. But that Summers, that's Nui Summers, is now looking at staring a Salem. Let's Whaler's Salem right up there. Oh, RKN's got a great position at A, Zath. A great position at A.
Yes. Yes, they do. And then Gidzeki is in smoke and able to just hammer the Summers.
Oh, they know the Summers is there. They do. Yeah. I was going to say, it looked like Nui might be going in for the suicide torp run on Whaler. It looks like he is. He's committing to this, Zath. I'm a little surprised.
Yes, he is. Here it comes.
He's going for it. I'm really...
Why pop the smoke?
I question the play. Okay, the Venezia shells missed. That's big. That's damage they won't get. He gets one in. Here comes the second rack. The third rack must have been disabled or he put it out late. I don't know exactly. His Whaler's radar must be down. He ate 2 from that rack. Wow, that's
and there's the DCP in the heel.
He gave up a ton of HP to throw torps into a Salem that's just going to heal a lot of it back, Zath.
Yeah, I think this was a very mistimed decision.
Yeah, I agree.
Here comes that third rack, but you know what's interesting is that they can't see him right now.
Yeah, they don't know where he is, do they?
Whaler's radar was off.
Yeah, Whaler's radar was down. That must be how they spotted him in the first place. So he knew the smoke was going to help him. He could get away with it. Here comes the torps. Whaler spots him now. Looks like he might. Nope. One in the bow, maybe. Nope.
Just barely missed.
Yeah, so it feels like he sold the farm for not a lot of gain, although on the other end of the map, RNG now making some inroads at sea. That's where they're going to have to make this play, in my opinion, Zath.
Well, they do have the Kremlin there that can help push along with the Stalingrad, and the Venezia can get the flank. and Big Papa can go up in the middle there. So yes, absolutely. That's where their push is going to have to. And you can see that RKN is already seeding it. They're already starting to kite
they're
away.
going to kite it. They're going to kite away. They've got almost a 300-point lead, so they can afford to give up some points and some time.
Oh, take a look at Mad Dog positioning here. He's not running. He's just kind of sitting here, and he's waiting, I think, for Wandering Bread to start turning and point that bow towards the Ohio and Stalingrad. Once that happens, he's probably going to unleash some torpedoes.
Yeah, Mad Dog seems totally happy to chill on this end of the cap. Clearly waiting for his torpedo reload. Got eyes on the Venezia and the Kremlin. Yep, there's some torps going out at the Kremlin right now.
Yep. Finning needs help. He's in a position right now. He really can't afford to back up. If he does, he'll get blapped from Yamato and Stalingrad. So they really, RKN can't afford to run away too far. And you can see that Senpai and Locked have both stopped because they know if they go too far back, Finning's dead.
Finning also is in a bit of a pickle there as well, because the Venezia, that's is it Dream Theater? Dream Theater's Venezia down on the J line has got shots dropping that Italian SAP onto his deck. So over time, he's going to lose that exchange depending on how the return fire goes. Wandering Bread's about to eat some torpedo love, just like maybe one for sure, maybe two. Nope, just the one.
Nah, just the one that triggers the DCP. And Big Papa just taking some big hits there from, I think that's Shima spotting him.
Match half gone here as RKN works about almost a 300-point lead. They're playing really, really well. RNG trying to break in somewhere. The stalemate continues at B. No change there.
Which is absolutely hilarious. I think
kind of is.
Both of us expected in one way or the other, like in 2 minutes.
Well, this is why I feel like RKN's position there is superior, right? You cannot push. You have to push ships all the way into like through and past the sea cap before they'll have shots on Kishu, whereas Tommy doesn't have that kind of cover from his position. So I really like RKN committing a Moskva or even a Des Moines, a ship in general, to this position, but I feel like RNG doing it from the south spawn was a really big risk.
Now, Mad Dog just took a daring torp, a very nasty daring torp, which is going to force him to be a little bit more defensive and careful with his hit points. Locked is also pretty low.
Well,
and
Wandering
Finning just took a big hit from the Venezia.
Well, and Wandering Bread is also looking pretty rough there. Well, he's flooding? Must be flooding. I don't see fire. No, he is fire. He's burning. Fire. Well, he's got more torps coming in, so the pain is on its way. Finning is slowly losing that long-range duel with the Venezia. That's one of the few, I won't say one of the few things, but it's certainly one of the things that Venezia is good at. I'm a little surprised at Dream Theater's position. If it were me, I might have gone even wider, maybe out to the 10 line, and gotten more of my guns to bear, but he's making it work. He's doing good work here.
Yeah.
But Wandering is continuing to reverse.
Well, looking at his positioning on Finning, I think it's more that's the extreme edge of his range. Finning's
Wandering is going to take another Shimakaze torp. I think maybe they do bag Finning. First kill of the game does go to RNG. Oh, Wandering dodges the Shima torps.
Wow.
Now that's going to open things up a little bit for Wonder Cube Stalingrad, who's already pushing up the inside track of this island chain as he moves up towards about F7. Oh, he took a big hit there from the Ohio.
Yes, he did. Gave a little bit too much side there, getting himself noticed. And the Ohio manages to get another shot in on Wandering, who's also broadside to him.
Yeah,
Ooh, Darksteel. Look at Darksteel. Darksteel's burning or flooding. He's going down.
Oh, yeah, he is. Venezia shell's coming in. There he goes. They've been slowly working him down as he kind of hovered in between B and C. Didn't really have a ton of support. Both teams trading a cap here.
Now.
Only 7 minutes to play. RKN very much in the driver's seat here with about a 300-point lead. Although it looks like they just spotted the Shimakaze. Mad Dog trying to get out of there, but he doesn't succeed. RNG bagging their second kill.
Kremlin for Kremlin.
Oof, indeed. Trading more battleships here. That takes
Which means
both.
no more battleships.
That's right. Both of RNG's battleships off the board here now. That's going to radically change what kind of control they have. If I'm real Senpai's Kremlin now, I feel really good about my life and about the idea of pushing back into these guys. Because Wonder Cube Stalingrad is incredibly exposed. The Ohio is coming down here. Who is it? That's Judges Ohio. Yeah, I think Wonder Cube is going to be the next thing off the board. The Ohio's waiting to slap him.
It's crazy just
here it comes.
How close Gizeki was to Nui.
There it was.
Wow.
There it was. Was waiting for that shot.
Over at A, it was such a close contest, but then nobody spotted Nui.
Well, up a kill, way ahead on points, almost 400 points up here. RNG desperately needing a play. All they can see is the Kremlin and the Ohio. Everyone else at A is completely invisible to them, Zath. They cannot see Whaler, nor can they see Gizeki's daring in the cap.
Yep. Yeah, they know he's in the smoke because he was shooting at Tommy Boy for a little bit, but Gizeki's being very careful, of course, not to get into radar range of the Des Moines. So Tommy can't really do anything about vision for that.
Now, despite the fact that they have over 800 points, because of how quickly, or I should say how not quickly points tick up, RNG still has a chance to make a play here, but they can't wait too long.
Let's not wait too long.
All right, so now they've pushed Nui onto the cap at A. That holds back the points, but he's about to get slapped. Yep, here comes the Moskva radar. Moskva radar Whaler shells will be coming down from the north momentarily. I'm sure the daring shells will be coming in. Nui's on less than 2K. He can't afford to get hit.
Nothing.
Is he too far away?
Reacted.
He's too far away.
Nobody reacted.
The Moskva radar picked him up briefly, but that was it.
No, I think it was Gizeki that picked him up, and then Gizeki just smoked and prevented himself from even seeing him. I think he was a little scared from that F1 toaster guy there.
The Venezia is threatening, but the Venezia is probably not going to kill him in a single salvo, right? So.
No. Hats off to Nui for being this close for so long of the game.
He's got more torps going in on Kisu's Moskva. Looks like Kisu's might take one on the bow, and he will. But the stalemate at B has lasted all game, under 4 minutes on the clock. But RKN
is now the focus target.
So he is. He's getting low. RKN's going to win in less than 3 minutes, and probably faster than that because World War II Junkie's about to go off the board. And there he goes. I just don't see a way back for RNG at this stage, Zath.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, they're about to stop. They're about to try and stop RKN's points again, which they've done. But there's only 3 minutes left. They have a huge lead. They have a huge lead. Admittedly, though, if you look at the health pools, Zath.
Yeah.
I mean, even RKN. There's Nui spotted. When he goes, that's the game. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Seconds on the timer now. This should be RKN's game. Such a well-executed plan by RKN.
Both teams really executed well. It just came down to just a couple of key displays.
They did, but when I looked up and I saw Whaler in that position at A, I thought, this is not... I just don't see this happening for these guys.
Roger.
Yep, well done. GG to both teams, but RKN with the win, and as that on their third win, they are definitely moving on to day 2.